Real Madrid might actually have to start looking at alternative options for left back because according to reports, the deal for Álvaro Carreras is on ice, which is shocking because if you would have told me this, I'd been like, there's no way. This deal is moving so fast. Just in the past couple of days and weeks ago, all the reports were saying this was a done deal. The player agreed to terms, Real Madrid agreed, but Benfica had that release clause. It turns out it's not just that cut and dry, right? The plot twist is that Manchester United have a stake in the player. And so that could be speculation on why Benfica are really putting their heels in the ground on this and won't budge from this release clause. So I think Real Madrid could and should explore other options, especially if they want to have this team ready to go for the Club World Cup, which is happening in, 12 days or something like that. And that was the whole goal. They wanted to get all these players in time for that competition. And Álvaro Carreras was kind of that missing jewel on this backline necklace, if you will. So, but that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what other alternative options I think we should look at and just how Benfica have been doing this historically for a very long time of selling players for very high prices and being difficult to deal with when it comes to transfers. Smash that like button if you absolutely hate release clauses. Make sure you subscribe and let's get into it. It's no secret, Real Madrid want Álvaro Carreras badly, but Benfica, they want every dollar that they can get for this player, and they're not budging. It might be a moment where we just need to kind of pause and evaluate what other options are out there. So let's get into the deal and some of the reports first, and then I'll get into the players. So it's no secret, Real Madrid really want Álvaro Carreras. He's been the only name talked about at the left back position this summer so far. If you read all the reports, everybody thought this deal was going to be done quickly. And I did too. It made sense. The player's good. Let's get him in, get ready for the Club World Cup. But that $50 million release clause is getting in the way. The plot twist here is Manchester United. They have a 20% sell-on clause. So that means if Benfica, whatever they sell him for, they have to give up 20% of that to Manchester United. I'm not mad at Benfica for wanting to get as much money as possible because they know they're going to have to give some of that to another club. However, I do think if Real Madrid were to walk away from this deal, they wouldn't be able to hang that $50 million over any other club just because they would see that, well, Real Madrid didn't want them so at 50. Why would we pay that, right? So I think Benfica are in a bad spot, but they're taking advantage of knowing that Real Madrid want to bring in players fast, knowing that Carreras is that last jewel in the defensive back line necklace for Real Madrid to shore up that left back position. So I get it. There's some business acumen happening here from the Benfica side. On the flip side of that, Real Madrid, they don't play these type of games. And the way that they've changed their transfer policy, basically, as far as conducting business, is to get top players on free transfers or in the last year of their contract. It's just good negotiation tactics. It helps, just with budget and everything like that. I'm not saying, look, Real Madrid have the money to pay 50 million euros for this player, but do they have to? That's the evaluation. And I don't want that to stem and make people think that Álvaro Carreras isn't worth 50 million euros. He's 22. He's intelligent. He's proven himself. Everybody talks about, how he matched up against Lamine Yamal, but just in general, in Liga Portugal, he's been a phenomenal fullback. He's very consistent. He's a good player. And at 22, you're basically buying a possible project for the future, right? And I'm okay with that. But I understand what Real Madrid are doing, and they don't want to just pay full price. I get it, especially for a 21-year-old left back when there are other options out there, and we'll get into those options later. But Benfica historically as a club has done this. I mean, when Chelsea came knocking for Enzo, Benfica didn't blink. They said, you got to pay up. And Chelsea eventually did. And Chelsea paid for a lot of people, but that's neither here nor there. They did this with Atletico Madrid, with João Felix, over 100 million euros. This is what they do. This is how they keep the lights on. They're known for this. They have good players. They bring them in and they sell them. Benfica are okay with this business model. And again, it just couldn't get messier with Manchester United being involved in getting a stake. I understand why Benfica want to get as much money as possible, but Real Madrid are weighing other options, and according to reports, that's exactly what they're doing. They're not just going to be fixated on one player. They were in the beginning because they thought this was going to be done quickly. So let's get into those other options. So I'm going to start off with a surprising option that I think could fit well. Don't think he's at the same level as Álvaro Carreras, but close. Miguel Gutiérrez. I know. You're shocked. I am too, but if you think about it, it kind of makes sense. He's played at Real Madrid. He's been in La Liga. He's been doing excellent at Girona under Michel. And he's been one of the most consistent fullbacks in La Liga. He can get forward. He's a good passer. Really good decision maker. And we saw glimpses of this when he did play for us. And the best thing about it is 8 million euros. Now that's cheap, but it's not charity. And again, you were bringing in a player that's familiar with maybe not the system because Xavi's coming in, but understands the demand and needs of Real Madrid, right? He would still be a project, if you will. But again, if we're looking for low cost, possible high value options, I think that makes sense. All right, so here's a more exciting option. This is the luxury option, right? This is the high tier. You're going to get something good out of this, whatever the cost is. And I'm talking about Grimaldo. He's already played under Xabi Alonso. He's already played in that system. He proved it at Leverkusen. Like, you saw it. I don't really need to explain what he did there, right? I don't need to get into that. He's brilliant at going forward. He can defend. He can do free kicks. He can pass. He was basically a weapon on that left side. Straight up. And he wouldn't be a project. Now, he's 29, 30 or something like that. He wouldn't be a project, but that's the beauty of it. He can come right in, make an immediate impact, already knows the system, could kind of be a leader in that back line, getting them together, especially with the younger players that were brought in, working with Trent, Dean, right? And building chemistry with Vinny or Jude on that left side. I mean, can you think about that? He would just be an exciting player. And again, he's Spanish. That's the theme here. Spanish fullbacks, Spanish players in general. That's what we're bringing in here. I think that Flo and the board have seen the success of the Spanish players for Barca and seen how much that's driven up the fan base and just the country in general. And they're elevating Spanish players at a high level. We saw a little bit of that at the Euros. I think that's why you saw the Nico Williams kind of rumors and stuff like that. I think there's this marketing effort. It could be tactical too, but marketing effort to bring more Spanish players into the Real Madrid side. And find one that could be a star like Lamine Yamal or a Pedri or Gabi or something like that. So that is just my theory. There's no way that could possibly be correct, but that's just my theory. Grimaldo he's brilliant. He will get you assists. He will get you goals. He does the overlaps. He does underlaps. He switches plays. He does everything. He's not just a defender. He does everything. But we would have to pay for that. I don't know if it would be 50 million euros, but we'd still have to pay. But again, the flip side of this is that he wouldn't be a project like a Miguel Gutiérrez or an Álvaro Carreras. Again, you pay, he plays. That's it. Instant impact, just like that. Those are my thoughts on the alternative options that I think we should go after. I think it makes sense for either one of those. Either go with the cheap version for left back and Miguel Gutiérrez, or the high end version of a Grimaldo. So those are my picks. Both of them are fantastic players that could fit into what Xavi's trying to do here. So I could see us going that direction if this Álvaro Carreras deal falls through. Do I want this deal to fall through? No, absolutely not. I would love to see Álvaro Carreras. He looks like a straight up baller. He really does. Again, project, 22 years old, but he's proven it at a high level, and he wants this to happen. So that's where I am with the fullback options. So here's the question. Are Real Madrid really losing something here, or are they being offered a second chance? Real Madrid has never built a dynasty by chasing players. Maybe Mbappe is the exception there, so I probably shouldn't say that. We've built up our squads, our team, whatever, by betting on value and system fits and evolution. That's just what we've done. That's what we do. And so, chasing Álvaro Carreras isn't going to be something that Florentino and the board are going to do. I think they'll play this out for. This will probably be the last week, to be honest. With Club World Cup coming up, time is ticking, and we're gonna see who blinks first. We're building for the future. Actually, we're building for the now. We're not building for the future. We're building for the now. Some of these players, I've called them projects, but this team that we're assembling the Avengers right now. We're playing for the now. This season has put a bad taste in the Bernabeu, and we're going to fix that this season. Flo's going to fix that. Xavi wants to fix that. We're not given a 2-year, 5-year roadmap here. This is happening in the Club World Cup. I expect us to smoke everybody in the Club World Cup. Crazy results. This is to put the world on notice. Hey, we're back. We were down, but we're back. Okay? Let me know what you guys think. Should Real Madrid trigger that release clause for Carreras, or should we pivot to another option? Matter of fact, drop the left back that you would like to see us go after, or left backs that you would like Real Madrid to kind of pursue. I would love to see that. I'm very curious to see how that goes. Anyways, be sure to smash that like button if you absolutely hate release clauses. Also, please subscribe to the content. And remember this. In football, the deals that sometimes fall through are the ones that sometimes can save you. I'll leave y'all with that. Until then, out on Madrid. Peace.